Hello, this is and I am making a video about a theory I came up with. It's called the Screaming Rocks theory. You'll see what I mean later. This is like, by the way, that's my dog who just walked away. So basically what it is that in the Bible, I was reading the Bible and then I realized that there was a part of it inside of it that mentioned that if there was nobody to pronounce the glory of Jesus and the Lord God, then even the rocks will have to yell out for his glory. So well, that's not the exact place. That's not the exact quote. I can't remember exactly since I have a bad memory. But basically, what it is that I was like, hypothetically, what would that look like? Then I realized, okay, so now we had to go from real life and go to a fiction, because this is an example of what I think it would look like. Pokemon. Yes, you heard me right. Pokemon. Okay, so in Pokemon, there are these rocks that are evolution stones that can have the power to unlock phylogenetic traits inside of the Pokemon, and basically cause them to quote unquote evolve, even though it's technically actually metamorphosis. Okay, so basically, what happens now is that basically there is a I'm sorry. What is the glory of God? You may somebody may wonder. Basically, the glory of God is omnipotency and also the power to create stuff. So, what fits that? What? I wonder what that is like. Basically, these stones. Okay, so the theory hinges on these stones are actually trying to glorify God by, emitting power. And then I was like, wait a minute. Fantasy things have magical objects. For example, in what's a good fantasy? Hang on. For example, Harry Potter. It has magical items, even though yes, some of these are enchanted, but I'm talking about like natural items and whatnot. So basically, these natural items that would be created by God, but not have anybody to glorify God's name, would basically have would basically project the power. Of course, not every single thing will do it in that exact way, but yeah. I'm almost done since there are a few more, since my phone does not have a lot of storage space. But anyways, so what happens now is that I have a theory called a separate theory that ties into this, called the Crusaders or Crusader theory. It does not matter if the S is there. Okay, what this is that after a Christian dies and goes to heaven, or if you're a Catholic, they may go to purgatory or whatnot, then what happens is that basically, what I think happens is that, what this theory basically says is that God will send them to one of these universes without the glory of God, and basically, what would happen is that they would basically be like a crusader and try to Christianize it. And finally, you may be like, but doesn't God make all these words, like, and whatnot, blah, 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 like, the multiverse is made by God and not humans, how can, like, fictional words exist? I also have a theory for that. So basically, the theory is that, that when people have an idea, God will basically make a universe with that idea is what happens, if you know what I mean. I'm having a stroke. Anyways, so yeah. So basically, person thinks of an idea that takes place inside of a universe. Stop focusing on my pencil. And God takes this and also, makes a universe with it. Okay. Also, I think I may have also solved predestination. This is a different thing, but yeah. Anyways, predestination is a thing where basically God, how can God know everything if that will happen if we have free will? Well, the thing is that if you don't want to go the route where God is just omniscient and it doesn't and what he thinks does not affect free will, then what happens is that you got a few choices. Either he doesn't, or there or some magic, or and there's a multiverse. So what I think I did was basically I just solved the multiverse using religion. Haha. Anyways, so yeah, that is my theory. It's technically divided into three parts: Screaming Rocks, Crusaders, and the predestination theory called the multiverse predestination theory, all made up by me. Anyways, have a nice day.